Hello and welcome to the next Thematic List Build. On the previous installment, I covered the Dark Angels. This time I thought I would mix things up, and I figured I should at least give one to the other codex that launched with 9th edition. So let's dive into a Thematic List Build for the Mephrit Dynasty. For those new, the goal of the Thematic List Build series is to create a 2K Strike Force sized list based around a theme central to the focused faction. And with that stated, let's take a look at the subfaction rules. The Mephrit Dynasty's subfaction rule is Solar Fury. Compared to its 8th edition iteration, it maintains the AP boost for shooting when within half range, but now offers a complement of rules to further synergize and get the most out of that core ability. In total, it improves the AP of shooting while within half range, and adds 3 inches to the range of ranged weapons, excluding pistols, which helps you reach targets easier as well as getting into that sweet spot for the AP bonus. And, while Necron command protocols aren't directly comparable to Space Marine combat doctrines, they are similar in that each dynasty does gain a bonus tied to a different command protocol, that bonus being the ability to claim both benefits of the protocol rather than choosing one. For Mephrit, this is the Protocol of the Vengeful Stars, which will allow them to gain another extra point of AP on ranged attacks that result as an unmodified wound roll of 6. And when making shooting attacks within half range, which is already where you want to be as Mephrit, enemies do not gain the benefits of cover. All said, while Mephrit's perks are rather singular in their area of focus, it is undeniably potent, and feels rather appropriate for the dynasty renowned for their destructive capabilities. Regarding the thematic objectives of the list, they are, well, they're quite singularly focused as well. I want to create a destroyer-oriented strike force, as I feel the annihilation focus of the destroyer units fits quite well with Mephrit's focus for obliteration. Now, let's go over to the list breakdown. The list is structured as a battalion. Our first HQ is the Scorpic Lord, who will be serving as the warlord for this list. He has the Mephrit warlord trait, Merciless Tyrant. It's a warlord trait that feels made for the Scorpic Lord, granting him +1 to his strength and attacks characteristic. It gives this beefy boy a total of 5 attacks with the Hyperphase Harvester, hitting on 3s since it's unwieldy, but it now swings at strength 9 with AP -4, dealing a flat damage of 3. He also has a decent anti-infantry gun. The range is slightly below what I would qualify as medium range, but since this lord wants to be the Reaper, it's very likely going to be within range of its targets, which is already going to be enhanced by the Solar Fury dynastic code, and all the more likely to take advantage of its AP boost. Defensively, the Scorpic Lord isn't bad. He has 6 wounds behind a toughness of 6 and a 3-up armor save and a 4-up invulnerable backed by living metal. I think it's worth mentioning that he can make use of the Whirling Onslaught stratagem when attacked, to modify the enemy wound rolls with a -1 penalty. And ability-wise, he's pretty simple. He's a force multiplier for destroyer units, allowing them to reroll wound rolls of 1, and as a destroyer unit, he can reroll his own hit rolls of 1. On to the troops choices. Filling out 3 troop slots are 3 squads of Immortals. All of them are 10 men strong, and all of them have Gauss blasters. While Reanimation Protocols gives more value to Necron warriors due to their larger model count, I have opted for the Immortals for 2 reasons. The bigger and meaner soldiers not only better align with Mephrit's destructive reputation, but the superior range of their Gauss blasters allows them to really shine with Solar Fury, and it results in these Mephrit troop choices firing Strength 5 weapons that hit at AP 3 when within 16 inches of their targets. And if you want to bump up their rate of fire, use the Relentless Onslaught stratagem to give them exploding hit rolls on hit rolls of 6. The second HQ of the list is the Royal Warden. He is here to support the Immortals. His 2 abilities increase the move characteristic of core units near him by 1, and allow core units nearby to shoot and charge after falling back. And while he isn't a destroyer unit, he is the only unit that can take the Mephrit Relic, the Conduit of Stars. It has an effective 39-inch range thanks to Solar Fury, and it can put out 6 shots when its target is within 19 inches, hitting on 3s at strength 6 with AP 3 dealing 2 damage per shot. Acting as enforcers for our warlord are a unit of 5 Scorpic destroyers. They are melee brutes that are ideal elite infantry slayers. Each of them has multiple attacks hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, and wounding at strength 7 and 5 with high AP, dealing between 2 and 3 damage. Next is the gunslinging Hexmark Destroyer. While he offers nothing in terms of supportive abilities, the Hexmark Destroyer's built-in dimensional translocation allows you to bring him down where you need him to do some crowd work. And his 6 pistols with his complement of abilities allow him to be quite the cleaner when it comes to thinning down large model count units. Adding in some flexibility to the list are 2 units of Ophidian Destroyers. Each unit is at their minimum size of 3. They have the capacity to be deployed in reserves should you need it, as well as the use of the Burrowing Nightmare stratagem to remove them and relocate them in your subsequent movement phase. Offensively, the Ophidian Destroyers are quite comparable to their Scorpic bros. They use the same weapons, but they have a lower strength characteristic of 4. But each Ophidian Destroyer also has a pair of Ophidian Claws, giving them 2 extra attacks. They also have an ability for their Hyperphase Reap Blades to score exploding hits, and another ability giving them a defensive layer of a -1 to hit versus melee attacks. Bringing in the fire support are 3 units of 3 Locust Heavy Destroyers. 2 groups have the Gauss Destructor, which allows them to provide some potent anti-tank firepower. Given the already great AP of 4, the Gauss Destructors won't benefit too much from being within half range, unless they are firing at targets with a save characteristic of 2+. However, the third group are equipped with Enmitic Exterminators, which due to their much lower AP of -1, will definitely appreciate the value of Solar Fury. Next, providing a bit of support, are 2 Canoptic Reanimators. These support pieces are here to aid the reanimation protocols of our troops, but I also included them as a means to add more target saturation in relation to the Heavy Destroyers, as these 2 Reanimators share a similar defensive profile. And the last units of the list are 2 Canoptic Plasmacytes. While taken primarily for points reasons, I genuinely feel these little guys provide some useful utility, as they can boost the destroyer unit near them, increasing their strength and attacks characteristic by 1, which is useful for our Warlord, the Scorpic Destroyers, or the Ophidian Destroyers. And that's the list. It comes to 1995 points, and it provides 12 command points. It features quite the array of destroyers, and heavily features my favorite model of the new range, the Heavy Locust Destroyers. There's just something about big guns. As for anti-tank shooting options, we have the 6 Heavy Locust Destroyers equipped with the Gauss Destructors. And in melee we have the Scorpic Lord, Scorpic Destroyers, and Ophidian Destroyers. For elite infantry and light vehicle shooting options, we have the Locust Destroyers with the Enmitic Exterminators, along with the Conduit of Stars on the Royal Warden. And in melee, again the Scorpic units and Ophidian Destroyers are well suited. And providing anti-infantry fire support are the Heavy Locust Destroyers with the Enmitic Exterminators, and of course the 3 squads of Immortals. That's a wrap on this one. Thanks for watching. This was a list I've been thinking about for a while, a list of robots hell-bent on destruction. If you have any questions, comments, or requests, please feel free to drop them down below. And in a change of events, I have a question for you. If one were to construct a Canoptic-focused list, what do you think the most suitable dynasty would be? Let me know in the comments below. So, if you enjoyed this video, there is a like button. And if you want to help my channel grow, there is a subscribe button. There is also a bell button and a share button, so press the buttons you want.